We're gonna go over the technique of Mykolas Alekna from European champs, and we're gonna start right now. Okay, so we're about to go into the individual who might end up becoming the greatest discus thrower in the history of the sport, going head to head with Christian Che for possibly the next decade plus. This is going to be crazy. I think what people aren't realizing is the rivalry we're seeing with Kovacs and with Krauser is essentially really coming to fruition as well in the discus at like a decade younger. You know, these guys are very, very young. I think Alekna in this video is either 19 or 20 years old. So, and Che's like 23. So this is just absolutely phenomenal. The competition was phenomenal at the European champs. And so for us, as the throws world, to be able to witness this growth and keep in mind, his dad threw till he was like 42. So we're gonna see a lot. This is like the Tom Brady of discus coming up, and especially with Che, you know, Diamond League champ, world champ. This is just going to be absolutely phenomenal. So let's get into this video real quick here and see what happens. Boom. It's amazing how well he just squares up on that finish. It's like so nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to work through and Alekna, I believe basically, in my understanding is he's got Mo Satara at Cal, and then he's got his coach in Lithuania, and then obviously I'm sure he consults with his dad as well. So he's got a very, very great background in support system, an excellent support system from the surface. You know, I don't know, it seems that way. It seems he's got a really phenomenal support system. Mo's got, I would say, probably top 2 collegiate programs in the NCAA. Also a great guy. He's got a great training group there. Cameron Rogers is there. You know, some of the best discus throwers in the NCAA are there with him. His training situation back in Lithuania, and from just talking with Mo, he's like, dude, he's one of those kids who'll get off the airplane and wants to throw almost immediately. So he's wired. Okay, so let's just go over this technique and see what he does that's very unique, and we can talk about, you know, just what we're observing, not judging or anything along those lines. So as he comes out of this position out of the back, you can see here, he opens that left heel, and he is a little bit off center here, almost opposite of what you're seeing with like Walsh and some of the shot putters currently, where they tend to be over on this side of the circle. Now you can see he's a little bit on the opposite side, right? He keeps that left shoulder tucked inside of his left knee right here, and that's pretty, you know, that's pretty traditional. Veston tends to coach this a bit. You can see it in Stahl and Simone Peterson. His discus drops a little bit there as he goes to pick up. He's picking up with that heel past that 180. Okay, you can still see that left arm is inside of that left knee. His hip is falling right there. Okay, and his left knee has it crossed up. Okay, so we see that left knee right there, left hip, and that left heel tends to drop. And this is just on this throw. This might be different on other throws. This might change in the coming year. He's young, he's wired up, he's ready to go out and throw 69, 78, one of the, you know, the European competition record. So also that's important to remember. So his heel drops here as that right leg's passing. He has a dorsiflex right foot, knee is up, okay? And you can even see here, this is where it's interesting. Watch this, watch that left foot, okay? Watch how almost how long that stays flat. Then as he comes off, he hits a nice position here where he's squared up right on top of that right foot. Okay, so he's squared up here. It's almost like the head, quad, foot. Maybe he's a little bit past midline here with the circle. If you look at the edge of his foot here, he's got that left foot here rotating. Gets a high point with the discus above his head, holding that left shoulder. Okay, so he's holding that left shoulder there. And then as that left leg grounds, okay, this is impressive. That left leg grounds here. Typically you'd see people almost exactly at like 180. Okay, almost identical at 180. You can see he's a couple degrees behind that 180 point and still holding that left shoulder. I want to go back to see. Yep. So he's got this established. He has that left foot grounds right here. Discus is super back there. So another thing we got to remember is he's really, really mobile. Okay, to be a world-class discus thrower, you got to be mobile. You have to be mobile. And then this is, you know, if you watch his dad's throw, I think from Beijing and from, yeah, Beijing is when you can really see him get into a flat left foot. You can sort of see that right there with Alekna, with the younger Alekna. And this is something, I don't know if they're coaching this or if it's just something that happens by chance. But even right there, you can start to see that. And I do think that that helps. I do think that that helps people get to a better position. It helps them sort of open that right hip and open that quad. And you can see here that that right knee is flexed. Okay, so that right knee is flexed. His right heel is starting to open. And I was wondering too, I'm almost wondering if anybody knows him. I'm interested to see if he what his arches are like in his foot, because he does drop that that left foot out of the back. Sometimes that's like people who have flat feet tend to do that a bit. You know, just interested to see. So then as he starts to open up here, okay, he starts to lift. He starts to extend those knees a bit more. And you can see that now he's starting to come forward into his left foot. So I think that's another big factor is his knee's flexed here, right? Knee is flexed here. Everything's stacked up on top. That knee stays flexed all the way to here. Okay, it's still flexed, still bent. Bent knee, bent knee. He even has a bent left leg there. Bent left leg. He's starting to transfer forward. Okay, so now he's still bent. He's starting to extend a little bit more. He's starting to get up on this finish a little bit more. Okay. And then right here, he rotates with that right side, squares up really, really well across the chest. He is up off of this left foot, you know, early relative to some other throwers. Keep in mind, he's 19, 20 years old. This also might be his technique. He's high wired, got second at the World Championships. Compatriot from Lithuania, Gudzius is also one of the best in the world. He's already at 67.26. He's getting into, I think this is his last throw, so he's trying to just rip a monster bomb, which is when he goes 69.78 for a European record. But he really rotates that right side all the way through. That right hip is out, almost past his left foot, right? Almost past that left foot. And you can just see that nice strike he gets as he works forward. Okay, and then you can see, I wanted to show here, okay, this is where his left foot is posted up, right? Now let's see. His right foot comes forward pretty well, almost directly where that left foot was. And then he rotates around to save that throw, gives it a nice yell. Boom. Oh, man, they're working at 69.78. That's like right on the 70-meter line. Might even be a bad mark. Wait. Is that really where they marked it? I know the quality of this video is not the best, but that's hitting the line. That's on the line. And this dude's marking it. Oh well. I've had problems with marks, especially at Commonwealth Games this year. Yeah, and then Che's like, coach is amped. Woo! I love it. So I think that's, you know, look at that position. He just stays so patient with that right side coming through. And this is the other thing. Like, he's not a huge dude. He's, you know, he's getting stronger. He's not by any means. I think his dad even said he doesn't want him to get super, super strong. He wants him to stay mobile, stay twitchy, stay elastic. And that's what you're seeing. So we'll just recap this. Got a nice, decent controlled wind position here. Okay, nice easy wind. Stays about level with that left shoulder. Opens up pretty well. Picks up, holds that left shoulder inside the left knee. Left heel does get down there. Cuts to the middle. Stays stacked on that right side. Stays over top of that right side as long as possible. Gets a little high point here with the discus. Holds that high point. Gets that left heel flat. Rotates that right side around. And squares up really, really well as he finishes forward. And that's exactly why Mykolas Alekna drops a huge bomb. Great competitor, already on the scene, 19, 20 years old. You know, he is a junior, I believe, junior world champion as well. So it's going to be really, really fun to watch what he can do in the coming years. He, Christian Che, everybody else coming up. It's going to be very enjoyable for the throws community. So if you want help with your training, head over to throwsuniversity.com. Until next time, peace.